and welcome everyone. I have with me today a guest who wants to stick to her roots and wants to pass on the rich Indian culture to the next generation. And some of her strengths include she's highly motivated and she's very independent. Kalyani Garu, welcome to Sarva Gunn Sampann. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you so much, Anu. Thank you for having me on your new venture called Sarva Gunn Sampann. It's indeed a very thoughtful idea from you to introduce women from all the fields from all over the world. And I've been watching few episodes of Sarva Gunn Sampann, and it's really motivating listening to other women as well.
Very excited to have you here. We'll start off with our first segment on this show, which is Bachchpan Ke Din. Love to hear all about your childhood in Bachchpan Ke Din.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good segments that you have started with, because everyone will have a childhood that we will always cherish those memories. So my childhood is basically from back in India, Hyderabad. So I was born in Kakinada, which is East Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh, but I was all brought up and studied in Hyderabad. So that's when my dance journey also started. So I started learning at the age of 6. Originally, I can say it is at the age of 4, but then we got so many breaks in between. So I will say continuously from the age of 6. So I started with a guru called Sri Gopal Garu, very close to our house, where he used to teach Kuchipudi. And as we all know, in India, we get summer holidays. We tend to go to our grandparents' house. So I used to go to grandparents' house, and that was a big break for me, even though I learned for 9 to 8 months continuously. But 3 months break at the young age would make a big impact for me. I used to forget everything because I used to be in a jolly mood and come back home after 3 months when the school opens, and facing the teachers that I don't remember anything now. And every time it is the same thing. That is the reason my mom okay, now she's not picking anything. She's back to ground zero. So let me, schedule the holidays in such a way that she'll get little breaks, not a long break, so that she'll be on pace with whatever she's learning. Then she has divided the summer break into Pongal holidays for 1 week, like Dasara holidays for 1 week, like that, and then summer holidays just for 10 days or maybe like that. And then the journey actually started when I joined Sri Vedantam Ramalinga Shastri Garu. He is now the Kuchipudi Kalakshetra principal in Kuchipudi village, southern part of India, from Andhra Pradesh district. So he was very strict, and he used to make us dance Monday to Friday, every day, 6 to minimum 8 when we are in the beginner and intermediate level, and 5:30 to 8:30 or 6 to 9 when we are in the advanced level. And just because we are not in the advanced level, we just used to do only items and then we used to skip the remaining part. It's not like that. Even though you are, however advanced you are supposed to come at the beginning of the class, do all the steps, all the jatis, and then your part comes. So you have to learn the thing to wait for your turn. First is patience, second is discipline, and third is hard work. So how strong your basic foundation is, that implies your dance, advanced dance. The dance will be that good. So those are the things. With my childhood, my mom is the main reason, who used to come to me in spite of she's having 3 kids, my sister, elder sister, my elder brother, and me. So she used to take care of both of them, and she used to come to me let's go to the dance class. She makes sure that if she's not coming, I may skip in between and go to friend's house in between on the way to dance class. So she makes sure she's with me all the time, and then come home, pick up everything. She used to do it in between. My dad used to support my mom. So that is the childhood memories with my schooling and the dance and all. So
the foundation for any good dancer is built on those fundamentals. And I think back in the day, the gurus were so strict that they would even sometimes, get really angry and, kind of whack you if you weren't getting your steps right. But I think that is what really prepared our generation of women who are in dance with a very, very solid foundation. And something I don't know if the kids today can relate to, because I think somewhere the teachers have also softened their stance. They're not as strict, I think.
I mean, on that point, I would like to mention it is both, it is India and the male gurus that we have learned from. And then it is like, if you see now, it is most of them are like female teachers. Back in then, the Kuchipudi dance drama tradition itself is a male dance drama tradition. Everybody, like Guru Vempati Chinna Satyam Garu, and from then, lot of male gurus are there. Now also male gurus are there, but predominantly it is female gurus are more in United States. And the culture that the kids have, like, they are watching here, it is a bicultural difference here. They need to balance both Indian and American culture. One way they'll compare the teachers with the coaches that they see here. So that is the main thing. The reason behind the teachers getting little softened is Indian teachers are rude. Indian dance teachers are like, very tough or like, very strict and all. But they have to understand these things is when you have a sport or an art form and you go to such a certain level, the coaches have to be strict. Either it is dance or anything. You can't pamper or you can't cuddle the kid all the time, because one way we spoil them even though they are doing mistakes. So that is my rule. So I tell all my students the same. So you go to your any coaches, they don't pamper you. So why do you expect me to pamper you and not to talk loud or not to correct you? So that is the main thing kids expecting. Back in India, we are not expecting all those, and our parents are not allowed to even talk in front of the gurus also.
I know your mom was a strong influence on you, especially when it came to dance. What about other influences? How was your schooling? Do you want to share any of that?
So I did my schooling basically in a school called Veeramachineni Padagaya High School in Sitafalmandi, Secunderabad. So that is close to my house. My father used to work in railways. So basically he used to work and my mom make sure that the school is closer to our house so that she can watch all the three kids and their activities. So is my guru also. My guru used to stay very close to my house when we started learning, and then he moved to different places. By that time I actually grown up. So my mom was like, okay, we can now, you can do, you can go on your bike to the classes and all. So yeah, I did my master's in computer science from St. Francis College of Women, Begumpet in Secunderabad. So I was excelling in my academics. Somewhere I attended some campus interviews. I went to some interviews in the companies. But somewhere there is no spark. Whenever somebody calls for, hey, there is a performance, do you want to come and join? I was like, okay, I'm coming now. Even if I don't tell my mom also, I used to like, I have a performance there, I'm going to that. What about this? You are studying so hard for this. You have an interview, and I'll do that interview later. So I used to skip those and I used to rush for my performances. And yeah, though that is where I actually enjoy putting makeup on, like, doing orchestra rehearsals and getting the corrections and playing different roles and enacting like some different characters of when we play dance dramas and all. Those make me like, I have something like, I'm feeling happy when I'm doing all these things rather than going and attending an interview and all. So I'm answerable to someone when I do a job where I'm not answerable when I'm in my happy place. That is my childhood thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's why, like, if I dance good, everybody will come and appreciate me. Only my guru will be like, my mom will be. I am answerable to only those two. But when I take a job, I will be answerable to so many people. That was the thing. that was going on my mind back then.
You pursued your calling, and that sets an example for a lot of people. We'll move on to our next segment, which is Ye Kahaan Aa Gaye Hum. This is your onward journey into adulthood, college, marriage, whatever it was that ensued. I'd love to hear about that. So our segment, Ye Kahaan Aa Gaye Hum.
Yeah, as I said, I did my master's, and then, it is pretty Indian Telugu families that tend to look for those marriage alliances for their daughters so that the parents can, get settled after those things. So that is my typical parents thought. After my sister got married, they was looking like the same thing, and I completed my master's in computer science, and they were like, okay, now you're done master's and you're not interested to do a job, and you're saying that you wanted to dance and dance. I'll first get married. If that person is interested, then you can go forward and do whatever you want. That was my parents' like perspective. I said, what if he's not interested in these art forms? Then I have to stop. Why don't you, let me do for some more years the performances, and then you see whatever whomever you want me to marry, I can marry that person. My mom was like, your dad is going to get retired now, you have to get married, otherwise, like, all those things, because it's a typical middle Indian Telugu family that thinks like this. Their kids should be settled before the parents get retired. So my mom was so particular about that. And then I was very particular, whoever I marry, they should support the classical art forms, because I've been pursuing the art form since I was like maybe 6. So 6 to I got married at the age of 25. So 19 years I've been learning, performing, and I also worked as a part-time dance teacher in one of the colleges, just, to spread the art form. And I used to teach, like a junior teachers, whenever in my master's classes also, or in at some kids in my apartments, if they come, akka, can you teach me some dance? I used to teach them, choreograph them. So I said, this has been through my life, like from 19 years now. So I don't want to leave it for the person who's just coming into my life. So luckily, I got Kishore. He's a software engineer here in Cleveland. So we got married in 2007. And my mom said, along with my daughter, she's also getting her dance into your life. So hope you'll support her. So we are giving dance and my girl to you. So, and then he did never say anything, and he just supported me, and he's the backbone, I would say, strong pillar. So
Yeah.
wherever I go, whatever I do, he'll just, okay, go and do it. Whatever you want, if you need help, ask me. If you can do it on your own, well, go and do it. So that is the support I got it. I have 2 kids here, so even with their studies, schedules, performances, out of station performances, any workshops, anything, because he's there, I'm able to manage. And because he's there, Sri Mayuri Dance Academy has formed. So
Yeah.
Kishore is the main reason after I moved to United States of America.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you that you were loyal to your first love that you pursued for so long. And it's great that you have a very supportive husband who sees your love for dance and supports you, because otherwise it's not possible. The kind of time that you have to spend, which is nothing short of a sacrifice, really a sacrifice. Though you may love what you do, you're still, it's time away from your family, time away from your kids. That you're spending with your students, weekends after weekends after weekends, all those performances and the grueling hours that entails. You really need that support system. And so really happy for you that you have Kishore in your life, and really lucky as well. So
Yes.
talk to me about your coming to America. How was that experience? How long did you take before you relaunched your dance journey? I'm assuming that there must have been a little bit of a lull because you needed to get the word out and create contacts. How was that journey for you?
So we moved to United States in 2007, and I was pretty much uh, I wanted to do performances first, because rather than teaching at the age of 25, 26, we are like, we still have the energy. It's not that now I don't have the energy, but we are more enthusiastic to perform on the stage rather than teaching. So I contacted some of the Telugu Association, local association uh, people here back then, 2007, and they were very welcoming to the new Indian people who are coming into the community, and they immediately said, you can perform on our one of our Diwali events. So that's when I got to perform on first event of like first performance was here Northeast Ohio Telugu Association's Diwali event, and then we get to from there I started my performance journey in Cleveland, and then I performed in Annamaya event, and then later after that um, I toured Northeast, I would say Northeast USA, like Chicago, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Indianapolis, all these states. I have like toured with Sri Madhavapedi Murthy Garu when he was visiting Cleveland for Cleveland Tyagraya Aradhana, and then like I tend to meet him, and we had a workshop with him, and then he said, "Why don't you come and tour with us?" So that was the major performance tour I went when my kid was actually very young. Kaustubh was very young at that age. So even before that, I used to perform locally. So whoever, like, and I used to teach some volunteer choreographies for people. And then later on, like somebody said that, why don't you start on your own classes and all?
Yeah.
But yes, definitely as a performer, you always have to prove yourself, even though you have done so many performances in India, but none of them carry here when you are actually immigrating. When you are visiting as an artist, that is totally different, because you come here on an artist visa. So people who sponsor your artist visa already submit your performance work or whatever your background work, so people already know about you. But if we are coming with a dependent visa or something like that, then we have to tell about ourselves, and we have to, as if we are applying for a new job. Everywhere I used to take my dance resume and tell them that I have done like this, because I've been a Doordarshan B grade artist back in India, and I have won several competitions. So I have to put everything and prepare properly so that people can know about me and what dance style am I doing, all those things. And I have to tell people that this is the dance style that I am actually doing. Don't get confused with the other dance styles. So those were the challenges actually I faced, even in, like, if you want to go, I used to go to a performance and don't know how to get involved in there, whom to contact, and then I go find some person who is actually doing emceeing there. So, and she says that I'm just the emceeing person, I don't know how the performance is put together. Maybe you want to contact, you want to Google someone and reach out to some persons like that. So those were the things I pretty much did. Google and get the emails and send them the emails. I'm so and so, I'm interested in participating, I can come and volunteer my performance, so it will benefit the community, or you might get interest in Indian classical art forms, like that. So initially, those were my tasks to do every day almost. Google what festival is going on, are they accepting new performers? If they are, send your resume with photos and all. If you get selected, go and perform. If you did not get selected, that's okay. There is always tomorrow for that.
You persisted and persevered through all these challenges to get to the point where you will move on to our next segment, which is Kaam Ki Baat. And here we get to talk more about your work, on a day-to-day basis. How do you organize yourself, your classes? How do you manage all of that? With you've got a family, your kids. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I teach in Kuchipudi dance in three different locations in Cleveland. So pretty much apart from 2 days, Monday and Friday, I don't teach. Apart from those 2 days, I teach all the 5 days. So it's between me and Kishore. We put a schedule every week. My older son's schedule will be changing as he's getting into older grades now. So we run around his schedule. Typically nowadays we are running all the three of us running around his schedule so that we will manage his schedule, and then I can manage my schedule. And by God's grace, Kishore is like, now everyone is working from home. So that is one part that he can be at home while my younger one is at home. So that's how I'm managing now. So
Yeah.
classes, performances, choreographies, new batches, everything is challenging because it's not like how we pursued the dance in India. Because when we were in degree or like graduate, undergraduate or graduate or masters, we are still with our gurus. We used to go there and we used to pursue the advanced level of dance, and we used to teach the younger batches while we are learning from our gurus. That way the burden from the guru is little down teaching the very young kids of 5 and 6 years. But here as they graduate, they'll fly to different university, and you are back to ground zero. So you start teaching the 5-year-old, 6-year-old, because there is no one to help you as a junior coach. I'm not talking about again the other cities where there are students who are pursuing above their college level and coming back to the teachers or pursuing the same art form or helping their gurus. But especially in Cleveland, it's becoming like maybe because it's a small city, kids wanted to go out of the city, and when they pursue, it's very hard for them to come back and help the teachers. So I teach all the batches, all the levels here. I won't give it to any of the junior instructors. Uh, First reason, they are very busy with their schedule. Second reason, I don't want parents to or anyone to think that when she was not establishing, she took so much effort and she taught everyone. Now she all established and now she doesn't care about the thing, and that's why she's not having a standard or anything. So that is why I teach all the kids from beginner level to advanced level. No matter like how young they are, how experienced they are, I teach all the classes. Sometimes yes, I mix and make sure that they see their seniors and practice, but personally every batch I teach them.
Yeah. In a class of maybe 10 or 15 students, are you able to spot early on how many of them will actually move on to a senior level or do Arangetram? I'm just curious.
Yes, definitely yes, because there are kids who are gifted. We all will tend to know them if they show the enthusiasm every time they come, if they are up to the mark and they say they will observe the seniors when the classes are going on. For example, I teach in Richfield Temple, Balaji Temple. So I teach on Sundays every from 2 to 6. So that is a span of 4 hours. So sometimes the senior kids comes and dances, and then the junior kids have to wait, so they wait while watching the senior kids. So the junior kids, some of them, they'll come and talk to me, Auntie, we have seen this. Is this Satyabama, or when will I learn that plate dance? So those little things, they may be very little things, but that somewhere they are helping them to develop interest to continue this art form to the next level. So
Right.
that's what I feel that yes, some of the kids, I know them very well. This kid will go a little more far than what we are thinking, and they'll take up little like above Rangapravesham level. So and their parents also. It is always the parents, the kid, and the teacher. That is the triangle I always tell my students and parents, because if the triangle is not correct, it will not work. So however the parent is very committed, if the kid doesn't have interest, she can't do anything. If the kid is very interested, she wanted to do it and she's struggling how to tell. If the parents are like, okay, it's not our cup of tea, we can't drive for those performances, we can't make them get ready for 3 to 4 hours, then the kid interest is gone. They both are very interested and teacher says that, okay, even if you give me like more money, I don't want to waste my money, like waste my time, then that is gone. So it is always the triangle that needs to work. And I have few gifted students in every batch that comes and talks to me with enthusiasm. What next? What's next? When are we going to get the gajjalu? Gajjalu are the ankle bells. When are we going to go on to the annual recital performance? When are we going to put the hair bun like that big akka? All these things, when they ask me, like the little minds is enthusiastic to know more about this art form.
What performance comes to your mind as a very special one or your favorite performance to date, either where you've performed or one of your students has performed? Can you talk a little bit about that?
For me, I won all India level competition when I was very young. For that, it's all time my favorite as of now till I'm like this level, because that is the only one performance where my dad actually came to the theater and watched me perform. And because he's the one who challenged me, at a very young age, I used to dance for movie songs also, looking these Chiranjeevi songs and all. So my dad was like, "Why are you wasting the money putting into classical art forms? Still, she's doing this pitchy dance and all." He used to, and he said that this is one challenge I wanted to give you. If you really win this competition, then I will make sure that you have that, zeal and passion for these art forms. Then I took it very seriously when I was in ninth grade, I believe. And then I won national level second prize for that competition, Kuchipudi dance, where I did my Tarangam and Krishna Shabdam together. And then my father actually, I said, "You have to come and watch me doing the performance." And he said, "I'll come and watch if you do it really good." And he watched and I won. And that was really something special and memorable for me always. And he wanted me to get selected into the Doordarshan. So I did that also. So whatever my dad was asking me, I did, even though my mom was supporting me. Because for me, I want to be like L. Vijay Lakshmi from old movies, which is his favorite dancer. She used to be very graceful, very beautiful when she dances, and people will be in awestruck when she dances. So you have to be like her when you actually dance. So people have to look at only you, not anything else. You should be like that kind of dancer, he used to always tell me. So yeah, so those two were my memorable things: audition for national television and competition. After I moved to USA, there are several performances where Kishore always says that this one you did good, this one you did good. um, but for me, special was my students' Rangapravesham, my first batch students' Rangapravesham, which happened to be the first Rangapravesham of Kuchipudi art style in Cleveland. So that is always special for me. My first batch students, Srinija Adipatla and Ojasvi Apanna, they both did it together. So it always special for me because they are the next generation that has showed this art form in the city.
What is the difference between Tarangam and Krishna Shabdam? You mentioned the two items that you performed.
Shabdam is a fast-paced Kuchipudi dance item where where we tell a story of a god, maybe like Hindu mythological god, or a king, or like we have different shabdas, Ramayana Shabdam, Krishna Shabdam, Dashavatara Shabdam. So all these shabdas where we are telling a story about Lord Vishnu, Lord Rama, Lord Krishna. Again, because we are telling about these gods, it's not a pure like only Abhinaya item. It has a rigorous footwork. It's a very fast paced, rigorous footwork with depicting the story of a king or a god is typically a shabdam in Kuchipudi repertoire. Tarangam is Kuchipudi only has that plate dance. So people dance on the rims of the brass plate, balancing themselves. That is Tarangam usually. It is most of the Tarangas are taken from Sri Krishna Lila Tarangani, written by Sri Narayana Tirtha. So where a part comes where we match the percussion with the plate beats. So yeah, so that Natuwangam jatis we'll say jatis we have to match the jatis while balancing ourselves on the plate. So that is Tarangam for Ing, and Krishna Shabda means where you don't have any plate, but still it is a very fast paced item depicting the story and the characteristics of Lord Krishna.
We'll move on to our next segment, which is the X Factor. And here I want you to talk about something that's very unique to your personality. It could be an interest, it could be a hobby, it could be something that you do outside of dance.
Uh, Hobbies, I do gardening, but now this year I'm not doing it. I enjoy gardening. I put vegetable gardens, and I wanted to see different flowers growing in my garden. I want I like learning about those flowers, how, like, which season they bloom and all. So one of my favorite would be that, because those are like, if I see those blooming flowers and all, somewhere it takes away my stress. So that is how I enjoy gardening. Apart from that, I always wanted to do, like, video, not actually video. I would say it's filming, some creative filming. So if I always do those trials on my kids. So zooming from down and then suddenly tell them, like, look back and all this, some cinematography kind of thing, which I wanted to do. Sometimes I do at home, but I really did not get time to pursue all that with my all the all around schedules. But I really wanted to do that, creatively, how to take the video. And nowadays I see those Instagrams and all, how creative this young generation is. So I wish I could have learned one of those. Always I think about that.
Our next segment is self-care, where I want you to talk about your daily routine. What do you do to take care of yourself, to get some rest, de-stress, and recharge, so that you're ready for whatever that day brings. So talk to us about how do you take care of yourself.
My day typically starts with a routine, dropping my kids in summer, dropping my kids in the swimming and getting them back and all. But in a regular basis, me and my husband, on a daily routine, we do yoga in the morning. Now I got a break, I have to admit that I have to restart after a couple months. So we do yoga because my husband is a sincere yoga practitioner. He has done Sadhguru's Shambhavi Mudra and all. So he's the one who always motivates me, you have to do it, because more than me it is important for you, how you maintain your health for your dance career. And that is the reason he always motivates me to do yoga. If we are skipping yoga on certain day, I'll make sure I'll go for a walk, at least for an hour or 40 minutes. And then my after my kids leave to school, then I'll do my household work and get back onto my laptop and do some, if I have any pending emails or any things, I will just reply them on my upcoming performances or schedules or anything. If not, I'll just try to do some dance practice, because I always believe in constant learning. I do take up classes from India with my gurus. So I attend some Zoom sessions with them on weekly basis, like once in a week or twice in a week. I used to do club Pilates before I joined yoga. So one of the main reasons to go to Club Pilates is flexibility. So now I stopped that. So dance and yoga is the main thing that comes into my regular routine, and I relax with a cup of tea in the morning and in the evening too before my classes starts, because that tea is um, my fuel to start the engine. So that is how I start in the evening before my classes. I'll have my cup of tea and then I'll start working on my schedule. After my school, my all classes are done, then back to dinner. And then once in a while, if I finish my classes early, then I'll go to walk again or I'll play badminton for relaxation.
Yoga and dance, I think that is all that you need. You don't need anything else outside of those two to de-stress you. And great forms of workout and just energizing yourself. So that is great. Any final words of advice from you to our audience?
I always say that there are many struggles in every art form or in any field you take. So support your kids. This is for all the parents. Support your kids and find their interest and enthusiasm, and you can just force them to do until certain level. After that, it is their mind and heart that has really have to put in that particular art or sport or anything. And there are always struggles and challenges in every field, but don't just think that because of doing this rigorously my kid got some kind of health issues or some kind of this. It's always highs and lows in every field. I myself have an extra growth in my bone in my right foot, so you just don't have to give up, just keep going. And this is for all the kids. Art form or sports or anything, you'll become professional or you'll come to one level only if you keep continuing, keep learning. Don't think that after certain 5 to 6 years we are done, we are good, we are reached certain level. So there is always more to come in every field. Just keep discovering and find your passion. And I will always say dream big and achieve it.
Wonderful words of advice. Thank you so much, Kalyani Garu, for coming on the show. It has been an honor and a pleasure to connect with you and get to learn more about your journey. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. All the very best to you.
Thank you so much, Anu garu. Thank you and congratulations on this Sarva Gunn Sampann. May you reach more women like me and more viewers. And I, on behalf of Sarva Gunn Sampann and Anu garu, I request all the viewers to spread this. So please encourage and please support Sarva Gunn Sampann, and congratulations once again, Anu garu.
Thank you so much, Kalyani Garu. Thank you. I appreciate those words of support. To my viewers, please subscribe to this channel to support women like Kalyani Garu. And I request you to come back each week to meet more guests and listen to their interesting life stories. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.